Hello, everybody. This is Saber Wolf. Welcome to another Final Fantasy 6 Worlds Collide stream. Yeah, I'm looking at a screen. This is a Friday night impromptu community race. This is Friday after dark. We're doing Ultros League Season 4 Hype Train race for all of you tonight. So let's get this thing going, shall we? We're about 1 minute away, 1 minute to the race drop here. And yeah, so tonight we're going to have the Schwans 27, Guard, Double Down, and Nobody War. This is pretty much like the admin team. Like, going at it here, Double Down is the commissioner for all of our events and such. We have the Schwans and Nobody War, a couple of our restreamers in our groups, and Gar, also a community manager helping out with things, and he has won a couple of tournaments as well. So I'm going to give you guys a standby. I'm going to quit the channel right now, and here we go. Of course, they had to drop a GIF as soon as I did that. That was very, very nice of them. So now I got to look at this GIF for the whole rest of the race now. All right, here we go. In about 5 seconds less, because we have a little bit of delay, of course. But once again, we have Ultros League. We need to find 6 characters, 9 espers here, and off we go. We listen to the Schwans' output here. There we go. I'll see what we got. We got, kind of flying solo, guys, so I'm kind of doing pull W. We have a Yeti in the, in the party. We know that. Looks like Double Down has yet to get off the mark here. Or I might have a delayed feed. Alright, well, we'll see how that happens for the rest of the race here. We have Gao and Mog as the other members of our troop here. Interesting checks that we have here. We got a lot of Narsha check action going on. So Mog is interesting because he can give us about 3 or actually 4 different checks. We could actually peek the Yeti early by doing the 2 Mog checks up in Narsh, which is the Wolf check, and the newer Marsha check right afterwards, along with Kefka and Narsh. Then we can peek the Yeti up there. Then we have Gao, but Gao is really dependent on if we can find the dried meat. And then we can go into Serpent's Trench. Serpent Trench is a great way to get a couple of early levels. It's 3 force fights with a reward at the end. It's probably one of the easier ones to do in this game. So let's see what everybody. Everybody went to Returner's Cave. Everybody's a party at Returners, apparently. Currently, I wasn't invited. Let's see, we got South Figaro for Nobody War, South Figaro for Gar, South Figaro for the Schwans. And a commissioner who knows where we're going to be. Now, I personally go World of Ruin immediately first. And I go to Albrook because you get a little extra chest in Albrook. And then I go to South Figaro World of Ruin before I switch to World of Balance. And I do, then I do Returners into South Figaro. Because they're right next to each other. It's a good way to get a bunch of chests early on. And we go from there. I also want to give a quick shout out to Hamster is Go for the quick follow right as we were launching the stream, so I appreciate that. Also, hello first chat to Henry the Hydralisk. Appreciate you joining us today. It is 3:11 a.m. Is that a.m. or p.m.? Good evening. Okay, it's nice. I'm assuming it's 3:11 in the morning, so hello tomorrow to you. It looks like Double Down's also making his way into South Figaro as well. So apparently everybody on the same exact page. It's like I'm just watching the Flash running. It just repeats of the Flashes behind each other or something. It's like a blur. I do see some dried meat there on Gar's screen. So it looks like dried meat is available to our runners. So it looks like we are going to be doing that. Did I spell Gar wrong? I spelled Gar wrong. I'm so sorry. There. I was rushing to get these guys on air, so that's my bad. I'm sorry. I was kind of waiting for this to get this thing going for since 7 o'clock. So, if anything, I was waiting. I was kept waiting at the altar for all these guys coming in here. But anyways, once again, this is the Ultros League. We need 3 characters, not okay, 6 characters, 9 Espers. We start with 3. The dragons don't matter, but they do help a little bit because they are scaled, and they give us a lot of experience and magic points to try to learn all those juicy spells and everything. Since I'm flying solo with the tracking and everything else, I'm not going to really concentrate fully on items too much unless we see a Illumina pop up or something. Then we'll point it out to you all. But everybody has the exact same gear since everybody's gone the exact same pathing. We do want to note that Double Down did start about 39 seconds after everybody else did. So a little bit of a handicap for them. Also, shout out to Double Down. They are the commissioner for our community, so make sure to give them a little bit of love. Yeah, they're really making it easier on me because they're all going to the same locations and everything, you know, right? I'm just going to update one of our little commands here for chat here for everybody. So if you want to follow our runners, you can. Just give me 1 second to update that for you all. Because we did have Double Down jump in just at the last second. So looks like we did have a Thunder Shield. Good eyes there. Mega, appreciate that. Where are we? Double Down, there it is right there. We also have one other runner running in the background as well. We also have Keith McRocks, which is running off stream in this race as well. So we actually have 5 runners available in this run, so. So we get the buying and selling here. Usually the first 5 to 10 minutes of any kind of Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide run is about buying and selling things. Looks like Schwann's visiting the Tizen Thief there. Also Double Down's doing the same. 3,000 bucks is not bad for a relic. For a possible Esper there. Looks like Gar's doing the same exact thing in World of Balance. Thunder Shield. Okay, that was the Thunder Shield you mentioned before. So it is a dead check. We got Nobody War getting our first check in. This is the Gout check, which is on the Velt. We need to get a dried meat out as soon as possible because fortunately we do have a Yeti in the party. And Yetis do not like to be kept waiting. It is a ghost, so it could be an Esper or item here. It is not a character. And we get Bismarck as an Esper. So Nobody War first one on the board with an Esper. And ooh, we got Ice 3 and Break. 2 very good spells here going into for Kefka later on. Because Break we can use on Tier 1. Ice 3 is good for Tier 2. And Everybody War's going to take a dip with the Yeti into the crashing rivers. Anybody ever go tubing down the river? This is pretty much what it's like, you know? I'm just saying. Especially with the Mode 7 graphics we have for the Final Fantasy VI game set here. Mega putting out a lot of interesting info. Mega, you want to jump in this chat with me? If you want to join our Discord, you can jump in the chat with me if you want to do the commentating with me. I wouldn't mind helping. You got some good eagle eyes there. For those watching that don't have chat, Mega Shishama is pointing out that Gar bought 5 pairs of earrings. So that's kind of interesting here. Schwann's is not going into the Velt quite yet. He is going to South Figaro World of Ruin. Now, South Figaro is one of the rare towns. It's the only town, actually, that you have a dichotomy of being able to re-loot the entire town of all its resources. Now, it doesn't count the basement. Basement is a separate area. But the overworld portion of the town, where all the barrels and boxes are, that can be looted twice. So, Double Down having a little bit of a hard time trying to get their Esper here. Gar did get their Espers. We'll put them on the board as well. Still, Double Down still having a hard time trying to find this ghosty. He's being ghosted by a ghost, I guess. Ooh, this is I believe that's a vulture. This is a bit of an interesting fight. Harpies and, wow, we're kind of using the same sprites here. That's interesting. We went from harpy into, what is that, vulture? Kind of crazy there. Yeah, we have the same sprites. The Schwans is now joining our party of the Velt, and he gets on the first try. Double Down still trying. We were talking about this the other day at the Discord, how often the ghost should come up on the fact that, wow, Double Down is like 0 for like 5 or 6 now. Oh, really? Overswarm. Hey, Overswarm, do you want to join me in the chat there, too? Somebody join me in the chat. I would be left alone here. I don't want to have my voice here the whole time. I don't actually, me personally, I don't like hearing my whole voice here in title. I like hearing other people's voices in my head. I'm just saying. But Overswarm with a fun fact, Ragnarok can turn those birds into experience eggs. So, does that mean the bird came before the chicken? Is that what you're trying to tell us, that the bird came first? You're about to watch a movie with a wife? Well, thank you for prioritizing your wife over me. I appreciate that. Double Down finally finding their ghost companion here for the dried meat. And they're finally on the board with the Esper. Well, my goodness, that took them like 7 tries there. Ooh, Schwann's going down into the dip of the river now. Oh, dragon. Okay. Interesting. We have a lot of flying feats here. Whoa, that's a level 60, 30, 10. That's a interesting grouping here. Unfortunately, they have very high evade here. Good thing about the 10s, though, they are undead, so Revivify does work on those, but the other two would have to be killed by other means, and that's not going to be easy when you can't physically hit them. Oh my goodness, W War gets sneezed completely off the screen, so no experience for them on that last dragon thing. Now, they elected to go the left lane the whole way, which gives you more fights. If you take the right lane both times, you only get 3 fights. Nobody, we're taking the left lane to get extra fights in there, and is not going to be a character. They're going to be rewarded with yet another Esper. There's that Ragnarok you were just talking about, Overswarm, that could have turned those birds into experience eggs. So will we take a second dip to try to do that? I don't think so. Mog dropping the Meteo. Fun times. That's our Double Down screen. Yeah, dragons are not fun to fight. I guess you can call them baby dragons? I guess you can call them? Because they're not the big ancient dragons that we have. Like these ones, Doom Dragons, we do not want to see these. These are very, very dangerous. They can do Fallen One and several other things. So this is a very draconic race here as Gao goes down. Landslide, we'll see if we'll bring this one Doom Dragon down. It does not. Yeti comes in and that's over 1,000 damage. That still didn't kill it. So we are a little bit of a jam now. Okay, Landslide going on the same target. That's interesting, as Nobody War is going to go into 7-Figure Road to Ruin this time. Do some more looting. Yes, but they do give one of the most experience in the game, so if he can pull this off, it'd be really great. But that's a Fallen One, followed by a pop in the face by the other dragon. That's going to be a reset for Gar. Let's hope that they kind of saved before going into that fight. How far back did he have to get reset here? Oh no, he's got to go all the way back through the trench again. Oh goodness gracious. That's going to be rough for them. Lucky he did save before going into the trench, so it wasn't too bad of a reset, but again, this is going to take a good about 4 minutes here. And knowing there is an Esper at the end, it's not going to be a huge loss because you do have the information of being an Esper. Schwans is now finishing off their run down to the trench. Nobody were going into Narsh World of Ruin here, not World of Balance. Fighting into some upgraded Lobos, the Lunarises. Schwans does have an Esper now. We'll pop them up to 2. Double Down's going to get their Esper. I'll put them on the screen already for their Esper. So Double Down actually passes Gar now. After that slow start and not fighting the ghost and everything, he's moving on. See, Overswarm, you could just do my job for me. You do it in text form. You sure you really want to hang out with your wife? I think it'd be more fun than your wife is. I'm just saying. Good. I'm glad she can hear me, dang it. Oh, goodness gracious. Swan's also going to roll the Ruin here. That's very, very interesting. Could be going for some early Dragon in here? I don't know. I would have gone to World of Balance Narsh, which is what Double Down's actually doing. Because the thing about this is, when you go to World of Balance, you don't have... You go to World of Ruin, rather, you don't have a lock for Narsh. So you can't go into the treasure room in World of Ruin. Plus, you are going to be able to peek the Yeti check and the window as you're doing the Mog check. So you actually can get a little bit of a preview for what Yeti's going to be before you commit to that. But going to World of Ruin, like Schwans and Nobody War are, you're going to be locked and only doing the treasure in the beginner house before going up the hill. So these guys are going to be committed to whatever the Yeti rewards are going to be without actually peeking it beforehand. Plus, with not having lock, you're not going to be able to go to the weapon shop. You're not going to be able to go to the mayor's house either because you're not going to have the pick-locking ability here. Well, we're not going to see what the preview is here. It looks like Schwans is getting in and out. It is going to be Strago. It is a character, actually. Here on top of the hill, or inside the caves of Yeti. So we're going to see a fat PHAT Strago here in a little bit. We do have a fire shield and ice shield available here for Nobody War's side, so we do have at least some decent spell casting learning here. Oh, we have thunder shields. We have the trifecta here. That's pretty good. See, Kefka and Narcissus Celeste. So we have 2 characters available on the board here for on Double Down's side, and a possible Esper here for the Wolf. So we do have 2 characters, 1 Esper, and then possibly another Esper character item, because we still have the Mog defense check as well. So, Force Shield, we're going to pass on that. Ooh, Schwans is going to go into the more recently buffed Coliseum fight here. We're going to see Orog. It's going to be rewarded there. Now, the Coliseum was buffed. We're going to see more previews of things ahead of time here. So you kind of know what your rewards are going to be before you get them. Gem box. More money. Now, the one problem here that Double Down is going to be facing Double Down here for the Kefka defense here is going to be, or Kefka Narsh, is going to be, he's only going to go down to use 2 characters right now. And since Gao looks like he got kicked out of the group, it doesn't look like he's able to do much of anything here. Looks like Gao's kind of a throwaway skill set here. So we're electing to go with Mog and Yeti, the intrepid bright white duo. The only characters are completely white. Everybody else is blonde or ponytailed. Unless you call it the pom-pom on Mog's head as a ponytail, who knows. Ooh, tentacles. This is going to be a very difficult fight early on in the game. These things can grab you and slowly drain you of health, and that health amount is going to be quite considerably high. So this is going to be quite a difficult fight here. Ooh, and Mog electing a Rage that apparently has Doom on it, so that's going to be off the nay. That's going to be a reset for Double Down, unfortunately. So, slight wait for Celeste here for Double Down. Dirty Dragon here, Nobody War is electing to get that early Dragon fight in here. Now, dragons are scaled, but they still have a considerable amount of HP that you're going to have to burn through. And Double Down's going to say no, possibly? He's going to take a full reset and maybe reset to a previous save at the bottom of the hill to save some time here. Schwann's peeking up there. Started Wolf and Strago in the window here. Is going to elect to back out of that check now. Nobody War does get through the dragon fight in the end, so great on them. Gar is unfortunately now going to try to get the Vine fight as well here. Double Down electing to switch to World of Ruin because we now know Strago is in that window. Schwanz goes back to World of Ruin again after being there previously. Ice Shield on the Dirt Dragon. Thank you, Mega, for that. Or Maga for that. Kind of in a bit of a holding pattern here, so we'll wait for other people to do some things here. So I want to remind everybody that Ultros League, which is what we're running here, running the Season 4 Ultros League flag set here. It's not too late to sign up. Tomorrow is the final day of pre-registration for the upcoming season. If you're new to it, don't worry, because we put it the Tonic Division, which is our low tier people who are just learning the game and like that tier, and then you have other tiers that you can progress into Potion, Elixir, and Mega Elixir. Mega Elixir, I guess you could say, is the pro level, and it's 8 weeks long, and only the first 6 weeks count to your point totals throughout the season. So again, we like to run this during the summer, so if you have to go away on vacation with the family during the week, well, you don't have to worry about it because that could be one of your throwaway weeks. So there you go. Air Force for Swans and Nobody War here at the top of the Ganache in the World of Ruin. Double Down fighting a Dirty Dragon is going to have to reset again. Let me see who rolled the seed so we know who to blame. It was Nobody War. Nobody War rolled the seed, so everybody can blame Nobody War for this. I did not roll the seed. I'm just here to commentate, okay? I didn't do anything. Gar changing the background to match the tentacles, make everything more greener. As Nobody War does get through that fight, gets Odin for the troubles there. That's Esper number 3 for them. The Schwans and Double Down progressing through their Toch check fight, which again is Air Force. Nobody War is going to drop down into Yamaro's cave. We know that's going to be Strago. Gar's also going to pass on the tentacles check. He's going to move on to other things, other the bigger, better things. Unfortunately, you have to walk all the way out here at Narsh World of Balance because in Narsh World of Ruin you can warp, but you can't do that in Narsh World of Balance. Unfortunately, take the long walk back. Schwans is going to pick up their third Esper here. Gar having a bit of a hard time getting some traction here, unfortunately. I'm going to double check their tracker here, make sure I did not miss anything. Oh, okay, no, he has had 2 Espers, my bad. And I'm assuming Double Down got through that fight, so we could put him up to 3 as well, which I already did. Now, I don't think you see a Mog on the screen there for... oh, he hasn't done it yet, my bad. Being a little ahead of myself there for Double Down, sorry. So, Gar is going to do the Moogle Defense. That's one of the newer checks that we added on into the game here. It's pretty much like Kefka at Narsh, it's up a lot smaller scale, and you need Mog in order to do this check. And it actually kicks you out from the top of Narsh, we do Kefka's into Arvin's house, and you go from Arvin's house straight back into this check, and you have to walk either top or bottom, and you can actually warp out of these rooms. So these are the only 2 rooms you can actually warp out of in Narsh, in the World of Balance, actually. So I remember correcting myself on that note I made before. There goes Double Down for that Esper pickup. Ooh, Gar with a slip slide around the monster there. Ghost Train here. Now, Kupek is the filler. If you don't have a full party for this check, it will give you an extra Moogle to help fight for your team here. But unfortunately, they will also steal some of the experience as well. Strago with Blitz is our reward here. Excuse me, for the Yeti check here. There he is. Which way? Not too bad. Especially if we have the Bolt 2 action here. Double down, trying the Dirty Dragon again here. Try to get some early levels again. Yeah, one good thing about Trina is it is weak to X-Zone. Instant death. Gollum is the Resper for that. The awesome job out of Gar for that. That is a huge Esper pickup for them. Gigantos here in the chest. This is going to be a huge amount of experience for Nobody War. So watching we're both get through their fights here. So that'll be the Strago pickup for the Schwans here. Giganto is actually the chest in World of Narsh. World of Narsh, yeah. Narsh Beginner Shop Monster Chest check. So got a little bit more of experience there. So I think we got enough experience to start doing other things now. Nobody more going back into Narsh once again. We are living in Narsh, I guess, for this seed today. Double down gets through their Dirty Dragon here as well. I think that's everybody Dirty Dragoning here, so we'll give everybody a dragon just to make sure here. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Schwans did not do the dragon. Oh, I guess he was the only one that did it. Okay, nobody ever did it too, but he's manually tracked, so he manually counted it as the dirt dragon itself, not the actual ice dragon check. So interesting. Okay. Woo! Bog! hitting a 2,000 damage attack. This is the problem with Dirty Dragon. You can do a lot of experience. You can do a lot of, damage there. Interesting enough that Dirty Dragon is actually using ice attacks here. The Ice Dragon position. It's kind of funny, actually. Nobody equipped a fixed ice? Well, Wow, this dragon is just sliding into these Gar's DMs here, I guess. That's a Yeti all by themselves here now. Gar's gonna reset out of that as a stomping straw comes down on double down screen for the number 128 fight. Schwans does have the water attacks here out of Strago, using the Bismarck Esper summon to do the extra low damage here. And now Gao also hitting it with the water attack here. Hone Tusk's gonna come out. That's gonna, okay, not too bad. Schwans now gets their dragon, and they're on the dragon board as well. Yep, Strago has Blitz. Which is kind of meh. Unless Strago got blessed with a good magic power. So Double Down really the only one has yet to get their Strago No, actually, Gar hasn't as well, but Nobody War is actually going to go for their Celeste now. I believe that's 4 Espers. Yep, that's 4 Espers for Nobody War now. See, now I'm going to have to start struggling and try to keep up with these guys on the tracking now. As I try to multitask with commentating and everything at the same time here. That is Strago there for Double Down now. So we are caught up. I have faith in me. All the screen color schemes look so delicious. Yeah, these guys had a little extra time to set up their colors. Double Down City went straight Miami Dolphins on his color scheme, which I don't appreciate. I'm a Patriots fan, so I'm just saying. All faith in Saber. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, you guys had faith in me for YouTube, you know. I'm just saying. Which, again, thank you to community for doing that for YouTube. We did hit that 1,000 subscribers mark, so that does give us monetization for YouTube. I know we have to see, you don't have to see ads now, but the cool thing is with that is when you do see those ads, that money is not going to go to us. It's going to go back into community for special events, fundraisers, marathon events, etc. So that we don't keep that money. That money goes back right back into the community for all these events, marathons, fundraisers, all this stuff we do. As Gary hits reset again on their screen. A lot of resets here in this run. This is going to be a very, very lengthy race here, I'm going to assume, as Schwans goes back up into World of Balance. Narsh, they're going to take on the Vines fight along with Double Down as well. But I think Schwan still has to do the Wolf portion. Double Down already did the Wolf portion, I think. So this will actually, so Double Down will catch up with him here before the fight. But Gar's now doing the Dirty Dragon now. See if he can survive this fight. Everybody else has. He's the only one yet to get a dragon in this with us. Tentacles now for Nobody War. Does definitely surviving a little bit better. Ooh, he's going to float everybody. But Dirty Dragon does have an ability to drag everybody back down to the ground, so don't feel like you're safe in being able to float. He will drag you back down to the surface of the earth. Schwann's electing to save here really quick before getting into this fight. And now with Strago, now we have 3 characters we can fight with. We are going to dump Yumaro now. Gao now has learned some spells. They're not so useless now with whatever the burst start ability had. There's that 50G. That's the ability I was talking about on Gar's screen. That drags you back down to the surface of the earth before he hits you with earth attacks and Hontas again. So that's the ability you have to be very careful with. Nobody were here on the cusp of getting one more tentacle here. Of getting my girl, Celeste. If you're going to be watching my stream, Celeste is best girl. You know what? Hey, heck with this. We're going to put Celeste here. We don't see Terra. We're going to have Celeste here. We're going to have Celeste in our branding now. Nobody were getting that Celeste into their pockets now. So no more Yeti in the party, I'm going to assume. We're moving over to Celeste. And luckily it kicks us off the mountain here. Celeste would steal mediocre attacks and damage. Dancing Capture with much, much higher ability power. But I'm assuming that's with stat boosts and everything. But again, Yeti is our other person. We might as well just take both. Plus Celeste is very dynamic. She can do a lot of different things. With big sword attack swinging, with decent magic power. You know, she can do a lot of things. Yeah, Celeste is the thief now. Yeah, she inherited that ability from her Alex. By welcome. Thank you for the follow there, Star and J3636. Appreciate the follows. Welcome to the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. This is the randomizer for Final Fantasy VI or 3, depending on when you grew up and what emulator you're using. This is the randomizer for that game. This is right now we're watching a speed racing competition of the Ultros League. This is pretty much the standard of our flag sets and everything that we do, that we use, that everybody kind of competes with throughout each season-long tournament. Also, hello to Adelmec for the follow. Thank you for that. Swan's getting there. Celestia. So we'll get them the Celeste. Celeste gives us a lot of cool things. It gives us a free check in South Figaro. Also gives us a multiple check here in the Magitech facility. We don't have Magitech as an ability, but if we did, we would be able to unlock all the Magitechs, including the juicy Magitech Missile and X-Fur. Ooh, Odin coming out on screen for Double Down with the insta-kill from on the train. That's a nice touch there. And they get their Golem Esper there. Schwann's now going into the same fight here, about to fight the Ghost Train as well, which Nobody War is still fighting through. Bismarck coming out here for Nobody War, not using the Odin Esper. That's a very angry Mog swinging a very heavy stick there, it looks like. This train's like, oh, you want to throw water at me? Here's water back at you. Not appreciating Celeste's water attack there, I guess. Yeah, everybody's rearranging rules here, I guess. Because the cool thing about the randomizer, the characters are all randomized at different places. The Espers are in random places. The abilities have been randomized. So some of the stats have been also adjusted slightly as well. So, Double Down going to go here into South Figaro to try for this fight here. I just want to make sure I'm caught up to date on the tracking. 5 and 3 for Schwann's. It's 3 and 4 for Gar. I was one behind there on that one. Double Down now hitting into the basement of South Figaro. He is at 5. He's got a Celeste. And Celeste check is going to be a Cyan, another character. Character number 6, so we have all the characters we need. Cyan gives a lot of good checks here. This gives us Mount Zozo, Dream, Leader. So Cyan with an awesome amount of checks here later on that we can finish out this race with. And also we got Nobody War here at 5 and 4, so they have so they're up to date as well. Oh, I must have repeated something. I don't know why I still am at 4. It's weird. Okay, Schwann's there with their completion of the fight there on the train. And they get their Golem Esper. So everybody has Golem Esper, which means everybody has Calmness Protection. We also have a break in our spell casting. We also have Ice 3 available. So we have some of the elements we need for Kefka's final fight. But we still have missing quite a few more. Doom, in this case, we got our permit kill too. There. Atma, Toilet Atma is at the leader gates. Oh boy. This is not going to be an easy fight for Double Down here, as this fight, Toilet Atma can do all the abilities of the entire game, including Fallen One, Goner, Ultima, Wombat, as like we saw last night. So he's very, very, very difficult fight here. He also absorbs wind. So he doesn't have many weaknesses here. Schwann's now heading down into the basement, and they're going to go and find their Cyan. Gar does have Strago. We'll put Strago on the board for them. Schwann's picks up their Cyan. Nobody War now doing Celeste's check here. Opera House, actually. I don't think they ever picked up their Cyan free check, did they? No, they did not, so they have not gone to South Figaro yet. Let's go straight into the fray with Auction House here. Oh, sorry, not Auction House, Opera House, rather. Ooh, difficult fight here on screen for Nobody War. Or Ogres. or Orogs. I have no idea why they spelt it that way. And there goes at my weapon down for double down. We'll see what the reward is for that here. And I survived. God, with 18 health too, by the way. So very skin of the teeth there. Of course, this is a dead check. This is going to be hilarious. Nope, it's an Esper. Carbuncle. Okay, so we got an Esper out of that. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Gar now going for their Celeste here at the top of Narsh. I believe they did get the dragon here, so we'll yep, came up a dragon as well. Where is it? There it is. Sorry, everybody, I had to check on the household there. So double down going into the dream now, going into the first fight, Inferno. A little bit of a difficult fight. It is a three-headed beast, kind of like the Stooges are, but it's kind of a different variety. As Nobody Warrior finally gets to the end of Opera House here. See what their fight is. Gar going into the technical fight, which we have seen be the bane of everybody's existence from this run. Had to reset back out before coming back in with Strago, which was behind Yamaro. Welk here on stage here for Nobody Warrior, I guess, is Escargo. Mewe. Schwann's going to go in their Inferno fight as well. Going to take a look and see if we're up to date on things. 6 and 4. 4 and 4. 6 and 5. And 5 and 4. So we are up to date. Yay. Didn't miss anything. Ooh, Mog out of gas there on nobody's screen as, ooh, double down with 2 characters down, 3 characters down as Gal gets stoned now. Well, it goes down there for a screen for Nobody War. As Gar gets through the Moogle defense. So that's going to be their Esper. Schwann's actually starting after Double Down, is able to get through the fight as Double Down has to reset now on Inferno. That's going to be an Esper for them. So Dollars are going to have to redo this fight here as Schwann's passes Double Down. Double Down is up an extra Esper, though. Force shield for the Opera. Well, unfortunately, Opera's a dead check here. Nobody War. Still not going into South Figaro's free check. I guess he still has Blackjack Battle Royale in the brain, where there was no free checks there. I'd like to go to Medcheck Facility. That will be a new area here. Gar is going to go into the basement, is going to find their Cyan. Actually, she does have Celeste as well, so there's 2 characters for them, actually. So Double Down does have an extra Esper actually on Schwann's. He did get an extra Esper somewhere else. I believe it was a Tizen Thief, I think. So he is up in Esper technically if he gets through this fight. Gar taking a fight accidentally in the basement there, forgetting to put a Moogle Charm on. Oh, you want the music? Okay, we'll switch to here. We'll switch to Nobody Wars track. Okay. You want Magitech music? I'll give you Magitech music. There you go. I give what the people what they want. Sorry, we listened to Schwann's enough. We listened to him for the first 45 minutes of the race, so we can listen to somebody else now. Double Down finally getting through that fight there. They're going to get the Ramu Aspad. So that's for number 6 of them. Ooh, I hear big music. Atma weapon. So this is Atma Jr. Not quite as difficult as Atma, Toilet Atma, but still can surprise you. Unlike the top of the screen that we see Gar fighting Toilet Atma, Senior Behemoth on Schwann's screen. Now these are 3 bosses, all of which they can do crazy things with Ultimas, Meteors, Meteos, stuff like that. So all 3 of these bosses are not to be taken lightly if you get later into a seed and later into a race with higher levels, especially with level scaling on bosses. These 3 do not play around. Oh, I believe that water is actually going to heal. No, I guess it doesn't heal him. Woo! See what I mean? Blowfist for 1,000 automatic damage there. Schwann's now going into the second stage of Behemoth. It is weak to insta-death when you, I guess, skin Senior Behemoth. You can actually insta-death him after in the second stage of the fight. Merton was learned there. Also, you get a Behemoth suit out of it, so that'll be some good armor for somebody. Looks like Merton possibly in the cards here. Also, by the way, by doing Dream, you also learn all 8 sword techs now. We don't have a sword tech user per se right now, but you would if you were running a race that you would be able to learn all the sword techs. Gar getting an Esper there. That's going to be Esper number 6 for them. An extra Esper for Schwann, so I believe that's 2 Espers for them. They're up to 7 Espers, I believe, now. That is correct. So 6 characters, 7 Espers for Schwann. He can start looking for peekable checks now to try to top off his Esper total. Level 27. He's a little low on levels, so he's probably going to have to loop in a dragon or rush the one side of Kefka's tower here. Pumbaba here for our second boss here in the pit for Nobody War. Nobody War did get an Esper for that first check for them, so we're up to 5 Espers now. Schwann's actually taking a peek at, wow, Magi Tower. Now, Magi Tower is going to give him a dragon fight, a high-tier item at the top of the tower. Top of the tier tower chest always gives you a high-tier item. And a check at the bottom, which could be an Esper. So he's kind of putting all his cards into getting his leg day in. So give us some little love on leg day, which Pumbaba on Nobody Screen never did. It's disappointing that you can't just warp stone out of this thing like that. The only thing about Schwann's check here, though, is you're forced to use magic. We do have Ice 3. We do have some other spell casting abilities. So we should be fine with this. Did they just cast a flame shield? I think Nobody War just broke a flame shield. There goes down Pumbaba. We get our item here at the top of the page here. We do have Strago in the group, so we do have a natural Behemoth user there. There we go. Now we get the gear on the right people we want to get it on. Double Down's going to get their 2 Espers here, so we're going to mark both Espers for them. Tri-Touch here for Nobody War here. Looks like they got another Esper for them. They're up to 6 Espers now, 5 characters. They never went to South Figaro Basement, so they have not gotten the Cyan, which is located there. Gar finally getting through Toilet Atma there. He was just fighting that Toilet Atma for quite a while. Ultros numero dos for Swans. This is the Opera Ultros version. Merton coming out here for Swans. Does have Merton protection with Gao and Celeste absorbing it. So now Merton strats online for Swans. So double down at 6 characters, 8 Espers. So only needs 1 more Esper here to complete the run here. Actually, he's going to let to go to Ebbett's Rock. Now, Ebbett's Rock was buffed in this latest update. Now, once you get the 22 minimum quarrels, you'll have an increased chance of going to the boss, the beginning, or the save. It's a 50% chance to go to the boss room, 25% chance to go to the beginning area, and 25% chance to go to the save area. So really 50-50 chance. So it's a little bit of a quality of life improvement. It takes a little more of the RNG out of it, because you're already getting RNG by trying to find all the coral in this place, blind. So it does take a little bit of the RNG out of it to try to complete this thing, go a little further in. Schwantz does take down a dragon. That's their second dragon to get some more levels into them on their way down the tower. As Nobody War hops on the Charlie car, Gar is now facing their Pumbaba, which I believe is the second fight. So they should be at 7 Espers, I believe, right now. 6 Espers, 6 characters, my bad. Swan 6 and 7, that's correct. I want to make sure everybody's on the right total. 6 and 8 for them, and 5 and 6 for Nobody War. Okay, I'm right on everybody else. All right. We're staying on top of things. We're doing good. Woo! Double Down dropping down the Merton here on Ultros. Yikes. It's a little rough on Ultros. He's an octopus weak to fire. I mean, you have to, like you know, burn him to death. Schwantz here now at the bottom of the tower. Now, we're not sure if this could still be an item. This might not be an Esper here. We're not 100% sure on this. He does get rewarded an Esper, a Palador even. So that's 8 Espers for Schwantz. I imagine he's probably going to Ebbett's Rock. Ebbett's Rock was not an Esper. It's actually a character. We're done with Blackjack Battle Royale there, Setzer. Why are you coming into this? Setzer's like, remember me with Blackjack Battle Royale? Haunting Double Down, who is our commissioner of our community. Ooh, Piranha is here for Nobody War, so this made the train ride even longer here, unfortunately. Gar about to do the same thing here with Nobody War. Schwann's getting out of the Magic Tower. He's going to look to go to World of Balance here. Going to go to Victor, so he's going to go to Victor. Now, you can do the first 2 checks of Magitech Facility here, and you can warp out at any time. So this is why they're going this. It gives them 2 tries to try to get an Esper before warping out. Since the first 2 checks are guaranteed to be an Esper item, that increases the chance of it being an Esper and not like a character or something, because it's possible to get a character in the first 2 checks. Nobody War still playing with the fishes here, as Schwantz meets yet again a sneezing dragon. Fortunately, Gao is not going to get rewarded for this fight. But it's going to learn Merton and Doom on a couple characters, so a little more spell learning for them, progressing into the Kefka climb here. Did every single character able to use Diamond Vest? That's kind of crazy. Or double downside. Rezapraz finally coming up. Kind of takes less damage to ice, though, so unfortunately all these ice spells are not going to do as much damage as you normally would. You want to use Bolt. It's actually weaker to electric, so Bolt would actually be better here. Double Down now heading to a free check for Setzer and Colligan. Try to get this Esper. And does! Bahamut, he gets the Kefka unlock. So, Commissioner Double Down with the Kefka unlock. Here comes Kefka at you. He is shocked that one of our runners finally was able to unlock his tower. I believe this is not an Esper, I think, for Schwann's here. So he is going to have to do the second fight, which is going to be Boom Bubba. So Atma Weapon and the Boom Bubba. Bit of a difficult series here. It is another Magicite there for Nobody War. So Nobody War now up to, I believe, 7 Magicite now. And Double Down now into Kefka's Tower here at 55 minutes in. Pretty stellar time for them. Now, anybody left on the ship does not get included into the final party. So, and somebody's got to pilot the plane, so Yeti's going to be left behind. Okay, now chat's wishing ill on our runners. Why are you doing this, chat? Okay, chat, if you're going to wish ill on our runners here, please make sure you follow them on their Twitch channels. Also, a quick shout out also to Keith McRocks, who's also running in the background off stream. So a little shout out to them. So make sure you give them a little love for wishing ill on them, okay? Schwann's takes down Atma Weapon. I believe this is actually a dead check, so they are going to have to do again the second check here, I believe. So he's going to talk to Shiva here really quick. No, it is a Magicite, my bad. So it was an extra Magicite there. So Schwann's now getting all the Magicite they need. They are going to teleport out and head their way to Kefka at Kefka's tower. Doomgaze, wow. Star power. Pat yourself on the back. You just got your Doomgaze wish. Where dreams can come true. So Double Down's going to nope out of this fight. I believe they're going to hopefully equip some Memento Rings or something. Oh, he's got a level because he's at a division of 5. So now he has to make some extra fights here to get out of the ×5 for the Doom check here. Cyan for nobody. Yay! He finds a Cyan. Schwann's with the entry in the Kefka Tower about a minute 30 seconds behind Double Down. Double Down actually started a little bit behind the 8 ball here. I'm actually behind on Esper count here for Gar. Gar now at 8 Espers here. Needs 1 more Esper for their Kefka unlock here. Very close race here for everybody. Ooh, Nobody War actually going to do Doma Dream here. This is going to lock them in to a triple check. Gives them 3 chances to try to get a character, or 2 Espers out of 3 checks here. So it's going to try to, and that's actually all 3 of them are Espers. So, but he can't, but the problem is, after you get the first 2 Espers, you can't just back out. Well, after you get the first Esper, you can't back out. You have to complete the entire run-through of this. Unlike Schwann's, where he got into Magitech facility, was able to back out after the first check of getting that. So a little more of a commitment folly here for Nobody War here. So it's been a little bit of better advantage for Schwann's doing it the other way around, doing Dream before Magitech, where Nobody War did it the other way around. So a little advantage there for Schwann's and Double Down. Schwann's now going to see their Doomgaze fight. Now, unlike Double Down stacked the entire party. He's running all 4 party members on the right side to try to push through Kefka's Tower. Unlike Schwann's, who's actually only fighting with 2 characters. This could be a big time saver for Schwann's if he can get through this fight. This is a very difficult fight. Merton with fire damage is going to help. Pearl Rod Break for 9 quad 9s is definitely going to help as well. Oh, but here comes the straight Doombat onto Celeste. That's going to be a little bit of a blunder here that he's going to have to take care of. But Gao does have Life 2, so Life 2 coming out, maxing out Celeste's health on the re-res. Looks like Double Down also having Merton strats, but it's not having the healing aspect of it looks like. No, he doesn't have the healing that Schwann's has, actually. So, a little bit more of a difficult way for Schwann's, because Schwann's, both of their characters are actually getting healed off of this Merton. But Double Down does get through the fight with the 4 characters. Schwann's gets through the fight with their 2 characters, which means now Schwann's takes the lead in Kefka's tower, because Double Down's going to have to come back out because he's got all of his party members on 1 lane. In order to get through Kefka's tower, you need to diversify your characters into 3 different lanes and go fight 3 different statue bosses at the end. So Schwann's now takes a big advantage lead, having to get through that fight with 2 characters, with Merton, with heals. And Double Down's going to take this dragon fight that Schwann's already did with the Fire Dragon at the Magi Tower. So this is going to be Double Down's 2nd dragon to try to get those extra levels in the whole entire party. I'm losing my voice. Sorry, y'all. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Gar is going through Mount Zozo here. That is a dragon and kind of a free check at the end if you don't want to do dragon. He is going to do dragon for some more levels. Again, we did have a lot of free checks here and such, so we are going to pull that dragon. Storm Dragon is actually the check that Gar would normally get, but he's actually in Kefka's tower instead. It is going to be the Skull Dragon. Scully is going to be in the Mount Zozo. As Nobody War does get their 8th Esper. They will get 9 Espers by the end of this, though, so no panic there. Also, last minute learning of spells as well. The Schwann's is now pulling through their 2nd party through. Doesn't really need dragons anymore, so it's going to just click the switches right here and pull his 2 party members back up into the middle before launching the 3rd party member all the way through the run. Usually you want to run your 2nd and 3rd party through because they have to unlock switches for the 1st party in order to walk through the entire tower. Because there's roadblocks, there's 2 roadblocks for that 1st party to get through that the other 2 parties have to unlock for them. So you usually run the 2nd and 3rd parties before you go back to the 1st party and have them run the entire route into Kefka's tower. And usually whoever's in lane 3 will be your big tank team, because that team has to fight 3 bosses while the other 2 only have to fight 1 boss apiece. So the one that needs more experience and the 2 better fighters usually can go into the 3rd lane. Double Down now re-entering into Kefka's tower, now getting through that first boss fight, and Dragon is now going to diversify their team into even groups now. If I was him, I would be thinking like, wow, I just pulled off a really cool thing by getting Doomgaze for my entire party. I got to be in the lead at 1 hour and 2 minutes into this race. But unfortunately, no. Schwann's is actually the one in the lead right now. Having to go through that fight with 2 characters. And Gar is a dead check for Gar. That is not a 9th Esper for them. That's going to be a Genji armor. So now they still got to find another 9th Esper for them. And they did get another dragon, so we'll give them a dragon. Boop, 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 boop. For them. You like the sound effects there? Gar, is he really going to go into Auction House? Now, Auction House was nerfed in this season of Ultros League because now there's only 1 Esper in Auction House, not 2. So there's actually less of a chance to try to get a Esper this way. Nobody were now going through their senior behemoth fight as the Schwann's is going to fight Narapa the Rappa. Hopefully, if he has X Zone, it can be an instant win here. One thing about Narapa the Rappa you have to be careful of is he does have Reflect on them. So you have to find other AoE fighting spells and such to get around that. Now, he doesn't have much health, though. His health pool is very, very limited. He's actually not really even a boss. He's really just a random monster fight to try to get off of Floating Continent with. And he goes down there. He has less than 9,000 HP, so. Yeah, and the rapper, the wannabe statue on Floating Continent, right? Okay, this does have a Mega Elixir, by the way, so our runners may have a Mega Elixir available to them for use here. We do have Gollum and Odin for some of our Espers for use. We do have possible tools here for the Kefka client. We also have... I thought I saw a Palador. Palador is a kind of a B tier one to try to get around some combat with Goner. Schwann's with a second statue fight here. We'll see what this is. Magimaster. Oh boy. Let's see if we have the Berserk. We do not have Berserk on Strago. Oh boy. This is going to be a little bit of a holdup. Unicorn there for Nobody War. That's going to be their Kefka unlock now. And the sword text learned too, because again we do learn all the sword text from doing the Dream. We also learn all the magic text for doing Magitech Facility. He's going to grab this extra little bit here. It's going to actually be 10 Espers for Nobody War. Getting the double up there, so just getting the extra little love. Schwann's now going with the blitzes here. Pummeling, who's going to pummel Magimaster to the ground, I guess. Ooh, Plasma doing a lot of damage into Merton. Double casting there from Magimaster. Boy, Schwann's really trying to push this fight through with another pummel here. Double down now to the switches before the statues here. So double down now, catching up on the Schwanns. As Magimaster trying to put the Merton through, but again, Schwann's already has the Merton strats there. That's not going to hurt him. Was that a Vanilla Guardian that I missed before? Reset again for Gar. Oh my goodness. I think this is the most times I've ever seen Gar reset in a race. Yeah, it's not even really his fault. Oh, because he's doing Auction House, that's why. Ooh. Guardian not messing around here. Okay, well, Life 3. So we have other tools here for to get around Tier 3 of Kefka here. So we also have Life 3 available. So both of our runners here, Schwann's and Double Down, are having a little bit of a difficult time here getting through these boss fights here at the statues. So Gar and Nobody were trying to catch up here. Gar really trying to push the Magi site through. Oh, Experience Egg! Hello! Well, you know, Experience Egg for 10,000 gold is actually not a bad thing. However, at this stage of the race, kind of late, though. Well, if we got this early on in the race, that would have been amazing. Alright, we're going to switch back to Schwann's audio because he is technically in the lead here. So we're going to move back over to Schwann's audio. Going into the Kefka Kleiner Magimaster. He's putting up a huge fight here. Luckily, a lot of these spells that Magimaster's casting has been fire spells. So it's kind of shrugging him off from Strago. Ooh, dropping the haste now, just trying to speed himself up a little bit. Oh no, Doom! Oh no! Oh goodness, that was... Oh. Oh no. Such a bad luck there. for Schwann's. This is, oh, this is, okay, well, we did that. Oh, he hasn't done the second run yet. So this is a vanilla Guardian here for the Guardian spot for Schwann's here. So he's going to be a little surprised at this one. Double Down does get through the fight, so now we are tied between Schwann's and Double Down. So Double Down has caught up now. Minerva for the validation hidden box there. Woo, that's an awesome last minute item to get. Kefka. Oh, well, so Kefka is blocking Kefka on the climb. Huh, how quaint. Esper, finally for Gar. Now, once again, there's only one Esper available in the auction house. This is why it's a little more difficult to get the Esper, because the chances of getting it are much, much lower, as they finally get the Kefka unlocked at 110.05. Kefka goes down for Double Down. So they now take a slight lead on the 4 bosses. They've killed 2 of the 4 bosses. Schwann's is on their second boss right now. Well, Double Down still does not know that Magimaster is lurking in the left lane, which will be a one-on-one fight here. Schwann's getting through the Guardian. He's doing a lot more damage than Double Down is, so Schwann's does have a chance to bring us back into the lead again. As Gar enters Kefka's tower along with Nobody War, both entering at about the same time at 110.49. So there will be a head-to-head runoff here between a Gar and a Nobody War. So stick around also for the interviews as after we finish the races, we will talk to our runners to see how they felt about the run. So. Oh, that's right, Narapa, we already bought that one. So now Swans is on there. Has found 2 bosses, so we're on the last 2 bosses here. Kefka now for Swan, so both of them are going to be sitting on Magimasters after this fight. Schwann's is going to have Strago for the fight, and I'm not sure. I think Double Down might have the same person. Might also have Strago for that fight. Interesting switch over there for Celeste, though, because the Minerva now makes it so she doesn't heal now off the spells. It does give you more and more better stats and all, and able to absorb more on other elements, or block other elements, or just say, or negate the elements, I guess, rather. But now she's not able to absorb the health, so she's not going to heal off the Mertens anymore. Well, they both get through that fight, so both Schwann's and Double Down, all they have left is Magimaster now. Looks like Strago also is the character for Double Down to hear for the fight. But they have not found this out yet, so this will be the first meeting for them. Let's see if they have the Berserk learned, and they do not have Berserk learned. So, now I guess it comes down to who can learn Berserk faster, or who can rush down the damage faster. Using his shield's going to use the maximum amount of damage possible on the spell of Ice 3 there for the break. Well, the extra character really doesn't matter here. It's really all about can Strago get through this fight. Because both of their bonus characters both of them are Cyans at 750 health. So Cyan doesn't matter here. See, insta-kill there for Swan's side. So it's all about can Strago get through this fight. Schwan's Strago a level higher than Double Down's is, so he's going to be do a little bit more damage. But it looks like it's going to be a pummel off. That's a pummel off for the old man. It's a slapping competition for the old men. In this corner, Swans. In the other corner, Double Down. Yeah, I know those slapping competitions you see on the internet. This is what we have. This is what we've resulted this race to. Is a slap off for Strago. Are you happy now? Star, I'm looking at you, Star, because you're the one that said, oh, I want to see Doomgaze here, you know, and stuff like that. Okay? This is what you wanted, okay? Now we have a slap off for Strago. Double Down going down for their first loss against Magimaster. This is actually Schwann's second fight against Magimaster. So Schwann's now taking a slight lead now off the death reset here for Double Down. Basically, Magimaster just can't cast Doom. I mean, that's pretty much all it comes down to. Just don't cast Doom. Now, okay, so Double Down is actually going to reset out of Kefka's Tower. He's going to rebuild his entire party. He's going to have to run the entire climb of Kefka's Tower again. However, all the bosses are beaten. So all it matters is just trying to get his main party to fight Magimaster here. Let's see if Schwann's does the same thing. Okay, he's going to add a Hyper Risk now, which will increase the pummel damage. So he's going to try to pummel again. Double Down has left the tower. He's come back in, and he's actually going to run the entire tower with two naked party members, basically, just to run the sides up, just to hit the switches on Kefka, while Schwann's is just going to try to pummel him down with Strago. And taking that extra save right in front of the boss tells me that they're just going to be sticking to their guns on this fight. Guard with yet another reset, as nobody were also fighting Doomgaze at the same time. So it looks like we have dueling Doomgaze and dueling Magimasters here at 1 hour 16 minutes into this race. Well, while we have a little bit of a stall here, I do want to remind everybody that Ultros League is not the only thing we have going on right now in our community. Right now, coming up on June 14th at 9 p.m. on one of the Speed Gaming Network channels, hosted by Elastoid and Edgeworth, there will be a crowd control race between Javanator, Jexfer Rocks, and the Schwann's 27 that you see on screen here. Audiences could donate to Force Runners to perform certain checks, including Toiletma and all the dragons inside of Kefka's Tower. This will raise money for upcoming FF6 Worlds Collide Tournament prize pool for SG Live. For more information, again, head over to sglive.speedgaming.org or to our Discord at fssworldscollides.com/discord. Also, coming up next week on Sunday, June 18th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, One Free Fits will be participating in FFR Rando Marathon Summer 2023. There are some incentives for that event. That was going to be going for the donation fundraiser drive. To do the opera scene, you have to donate up to $80 for that. And there's going to also be a bidding war whether or not to save or kill Sid. Whoever gets the most money on that bidding war, that's what he will do. He'll either save Sid or kill Sid. Also, the second other bidding war that we have available to you all is going to be choosing what two characters that One Free Fits has to start with. You can, the highest bidders will be forced to say Yamaro and Gogo. You have to start with those two. So again, check that out. That's going to be over on Final Fantasy Randomizer on their Twitch channel. For more information, check out them. Again, we didn't miss much here back on the race here. Schwann's is still pummeling down Magimaster. I'm assuming he's going to try to heal here. No, we're going to try to keep pummeling. Going to teach this Magimaster get off his lawn. Hey, the heal. The double ice 3 heal. There you go. See, we don't need a heal. He'll do it for us. Gar has now caught up with the pack now. He's gone to pretty close to the statue switches here. And Schwann's resets again. Oh my goodness. Well, we will say that Double Down has gotten back to the party here. So Swans is going to teleport out. Now he's going to teleport out now. He's going to stack his party like Double Down has to try to get through this Magic Master fight. But Double Down has already done that 4 or 5 minutes ago. So now Double Down's going to take the lead here with an entire party fight against the Magic Master. Berserk should be on one of our learned characters here. Maybe not. Nope, nobody ever learned Berserk apparently. So I guess we don't have Berserk. Okay, so we're going to switch over to Double Down stream now. Oh, whoops. Oh boy. Never mind. We're not going to listen because his audio's lagging really, really bad. So we're not listening to him. Oh, unfortunately, bringing all our characters together, we took off our Moogle Charms and put it on our expendable characters, and we forgot to re-equip the Moogle Charm here for Swan, so we just got to run away from this fight real quick to get that. Gar is now on the vanilla Guardian fight, finally getting through the Doomgaze fight and the Inferno spot, as Nobody War now regrouping his party, trying to get through this fight here. Still trying to get through Doomgaze here for Nobody War. Once again, Double Down now doing the fight for Magimaster. We do not have Berserk here, so he's going to have to do it the hard way. Gar getting through the Guardian fight now, so another step closer to catching up with the rest of the race here back here. But again, they don't know that Magimaster is waiting in the wings for them, literally. Pretty much the same strategy here, fortunately for Double Down. We don't have Meteor, we don't have... we do have Landslide here as an optional rage here, which does do a lot of damage. We don't have Meteor, we don't have Grand Train, Quasar, like AoE fights that do like no elemental damage as such as Oi! Oi! There goes Strago again. Oh, but we get the Magimaster kill. Strago! Strago dies again! But we get the Magimaster fight in. Oh, goodness gracious. Couldn't write it any other way there. So Double Down now officially takes the lead here overall, now getting through that Magimaster fight. And that was the last key to get to the Kefka climb here now. Unfortunately, Double Down's audio is lagging considerably badly, so I will not be able to pull up his audio quite right now. We'll just stick to Schwann's audio here for the climb up. Retooling your characters, so we finally hit the switches on Kefka's Tower 123.11. That took us approximately 28-minute Kefka Tower there, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, LGBTQ community as well. Woof, that was a climb. But y'all got your wish. You got Doomgaze and Magimaster and Guardian. Everybody but the statues. Everybody pretty much having the same party here with Strago, Celeste, Gao, and Mog here. So nobody really better than the other. Oh, nobody wore down again. Yeah, nobody were probably taking a minute now, trying to figure out how to get through this now. I would take a break too. It's been rough. This has been a very rough climb. But anyways, we're on double downs outside. We're on the first tier of Kefka here. The face and long arm are weak to fire and wind. The short arm, which is fist, is not weak to either of those. They're actually weak to water, of all things. But long arm, the closest one to us with the open hand there, they are weak to break and insta-kill. So we can kill that immediately if we'd like to, but it looks like we're going to stick to the Merton here fully. Now you feel bad? Well, if you feel bad, make sure, you know, give them a follow. Give these guys love. Also, you all. These are our runners. I am your commentator, Saberwolf. You can follow me also on Saberwolf Gaming. That's 2 M's in gaming if you like my voice of commentating through you all these tracks. So be sure to follow all of us. And also give a little love because there's one other person suffering as well. There's actually Keith McRocks. They're also running this race as well. I can give you guys an update on what their pain threshold level is right now. Give you guys a little peek on what they're doing here. Oh, they're not even running. I guess they stopped running completely. It looks like. Oh no, they didn't even run. They're off stream. They're running off stream apparently. So never mind. So who knows what they're doing? So Gar now up to the Magic Master fight. They have Mog instead of Strago here, and he's electing to use Rage on Mog here. See if he can get through this fight. Does have the fire and wind absorption here, so let's see if Mog was the key to getting this through. Nobody were actually doing Magimaster Tower here. I guess he's doing some dragon fights. Try to get through. Anyways, double down now on tier 2 here on the lower left there of the screen. Now this is a 4-headed beast. Tools, which is already down, is susceptible to insta-kill. Magic on the backside, that's the Kefka character facing away, kind of looks like Sabin. He is weak to mute, of all things. Bluey is sitting on top of the cat there. He is weak to stop. He does 10 hits when he dies. And then right there, the white cat there at the bottom is Tiger, what we call Tiger. They're actually weak to ice, so we use Ice 3 liberally on them. Boy, Magimaster has a thing about Strago. Maybe this is why Strago joined the cult, because he was sick of Magimaster killing him all the time. Is that why he joined Magimaster in the tower? That's what my guess is. Nobody were getting another dragon here. Try to up their levels a little bit here in the Magic Tower. It's canon. Okay, we're making it canon. Alright. Schwann's finally gets through the Magimaster fight. He's been fighting the longest of anybody in this group. Looks like Gar has restarted the fight again here against Magimaster. So now Schwann's is going to try to do the chase now of Double Down. He is approximately about 4 minutes behind now of the commish. It looks like there's only 2 heads left here on tier 2, so we're exactly halfway through the Kefka climb. Kefka is actually 4 different tiers here. Yeah, so Gar is still electing to go with Moogle here with the little landslide. Try to bring Magimaster down. Because you know that song, Landslide Will Bring You Down. I know it's not Saturday, folks, but Swans is doing the Saturday stream. We will have another community race stream for you all on tomorrow night for more Ultros League action, I believe. So be sure to check that out, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And I actually might be running in that too, by the way, so I'll take the pain. Well, these guys, well, right now our Forerunners are not quite very hyped for Ultros League 4 right now. They're definitely feeling the pain train of Magimaster, Guardian, and Doomgaze here in the Kefka's Tower. Good, I'll hope to see you there, Keith. Double down, getting down the magic there, so now moving on to Tier 3. Now, Tier 3 is the part that gets everybody in trouble. There's only two parts to Tier 3. There's the floating head of a girl, what we call a girl, and the laid-back Kefka there, which we call Sleep, because he slept before rearranging the world. Again, biblical references, everybody, just saying. So, in this fight, Girl absorbs all elemental types damages. She is weak to non-elemental damage and direct contact punching in the face. Literally. Sleep, on the other hand, his thing is the less and less health he has, the more agitated he gets, and he starts throwing down Meteo, Trine. And then when you finally kill him, he actually comes out with his version of Calmness, which instantly kills you with a physical damaging attack. Now, if you have Golem or my pal Fenrir, that automatically blocks that attack. So you have to make sure you have that in your back pocket, or some other means you can use Life 3 to get through that as well. Girl also weak to things like throw, like when you throw shuriken, stuff like that as well. Landslide coming out here. I think that's Girl is done there. Atma Weapon being pulled out of Sleep. Sleep does, you can steal Atma Weapon from Sleep, which, if you didn't know that. Ooh, another Wild Wind coming out here from Sleep here. Make sure these health totals stay very, very low. Now, half the party on low health now. And Inside's team doing about 5,000 damage a pop here, so let's see if we can try to heal our party up here. Okay, we have Imp status on Celeste. So she's not going to be very helpful until we can get the green cherries out to heal her. But doesn't look like we have elixirs or anything. So it looks like Celeste is permanently an imp for the remainder of this fight. Oh no! The only way to fix this is to kill her and then re-res her, and she'll be out of imp status, I believe. Oh no, we do have Remedy on one of the other one of the other characters, so we do have a way to get it off. Swan's now catching up now to Tier 2 on Kefka. Closing the gap down a little bit. Once again, Celeste still on Imp. Strago and Mog still low HP. Mog continuing the jump, but continuing the dancing with the raging with the landslide, rather. I said dancing because Mog usually dances. So, another Wild Wind coming out here. Another Whirlwind. Now Celeste is down to low health. Airblade here for Strago. That's the Blitz maneuver. Does pretty good amount of damage. Oh, we're just going for it here. Looks like we're just going for it. I think Celeste actually might have had Golem on her. I think that's why we keep hovering on Celeste, because I think we had Golem. Now with Mute and Blindness, now we have 3 layers of debilities on our entire party here. So this is looking rough. Yeah, that's why I like Unicorn, actually. Unicorn's a really great condition removal, especially against Trine and Trine. Yes, I believe Remedy does remove it. Oh, Gao goes down from the Calmness, but Life 3 brings it back up. Calmness down a second time. This one targets Strago. He also has Life 3, so everybody's going to be able to move on. Including the Imp Celeste. I don't know if it removes Imp or not. That's why I always take a couple extra green cherries, because there's some removals that don't remove Imp. So now double down, getting to the top of the Kefka climb here, all the way to the tippy top, where the Kefka will descend from the heavens. Now, Kefka has about 3 different stages here. Yeah, Imp does remove Imp. You're right. So Kefka has 3 stages here. There's the early stage within the first 30,000 HP. He will cast Fallen One, which brings your entire party down to 1 HP. Once he loses another set about 30,000 HP, he gets into this counterattacks with Hyperdrive and sorry, 4-year-old. He gets into his counters with Hyperdrive and such. And then if he goes to his 3rd stage, he'll do his counter with Ultima. Now, once he gets down to around that 50,000 mark, that's when he's going to start charging up his Goner ability, which will deal damage per each character in the party. Now, the less characters you have in your party, the more damage that's going to do to each character. Here's that Fallen One, so here's that Phase 1 from Kefka. That's going to bring down everybody down to 1 HP. Pretty much you counter this usually with a Mega Elixir, which we should have because everybody fought Magimaster, so everybody should have a Mega Elixir available. We're electing only to put it on just Elixiring Strago for now. We're not going to put a Mega Elixir everybody, apparently. Oh, Mantra coming out for Strago. That's going to heal the entire party for a third of their total HP here. And also remove conditions, but does not remove Imp. But that does remove blindness and mute. So a little RLXYA action here as Swans does get to tier 3, closing the gap here. Ooh, there's the Hyperdrive. Down goes a Moogle. But he does still have Life 3 available to them. Here comes the charge up from Goner. Now, at this stage, you want to dump all your possible damage. This is when you want to break your shields. Shields does magic defense ignoring damage of the Ice 3, tier, Fire 3, or Volt 3 of their element when you break them. So it's going to do the maximum amount of damage possible. Does scale off the magic power that you have. There's quad 9s. And not quite crack pow here. So Goner comes out. Strago is going to be the only one to survive this attack. Because the rest of the party will be going down off that. Strago down to 1,000 HP. Kefka does not follow up with an extra attack here. Is going to be able to get out the Phoenix down in time. Hopefully Kefka's health is not too low where he starts going berserk and starts havoc winging everybody. Revenger comes out. That's going to nullify all positive effects. So haste, float, stuff like that. And blur. In this stage, we're just going into a recoup mode here for Double Down. Trying to get the party back up again. This has just been the flavor of the sea with Doomgaze, Magimaster, Guardian. This has just been the way this seed flag set has been today. There comes a Havoc Wing down. Another Havoc Wing to the face there. Another Havoc Wing down. Strago goes down now. Double Down's finding other ways to get around this. Try to get his party up. Try to get back to this Goner weight mode here. There goes the Goner charge up. Now we can start busting down damage again without the fear of getting countered with Ultima. We have enough party members up. Mog will survive this Goner if we can't get this damage in. But that should be... not yet. Ice Shield comes out. One more. Crack pow! There it is. Double Down gets the win here with a 137.35. I'm assuming he had a delay on his stream there. That's probably why we had a... that's probably why he started a little late on our screens for us, and the time is not quite matching our timer here. But yeah. Alright, Double Down now joins us in the chat now. GG's, dude. That was a fight to the finish.
Yeah, I kind of had to pull out all the stops. I reached pretty deep into the bag of tricks to get that one to land.
Yeah, talk about a bad Kefka tower here. Garden, Vanilla Guardian, Doomgaze, Magimaster. Which one was probably the biggest fits for you? No, actually, let me back that up. You elected to go with a full party into the Inferno check, which was the Doomgaze, having a full party. So walk us through that part.
Yeah, so my levels were really low. I think I came into the tower with one level 29 and three level 30s, and I thought, boy, I sure hope the first boss isn't Doomgaze. Of course, the first boss was Doomgaze, so I had to back out of that and then um, banged my head against a bunch of evil Oscars for a minute to get some levels, but that was okay. But the real problem was Magimaster, who the moment I ran into, I should have just reset right away. I knew I had no way of getting through. There was no way I was going to be able to pummel my way through with Blitz, so I I had to bite the bullet and leave and come back with everybody. Not that they had any better answers, and just pray that my Floridan rage would get me through, which it somehow managed to.
Yeah, we can blame Star Powerel in the chat for jinxing you guys on Doomgaze. By the way, that was them. They said, "Oh, Doomgaze is in the tower," and sure enough, you guys right into him.
Hey, at least he was at the start. If he'd been in the Guardian spot, that would have been a complete disaster.
Now, also, by the way, on that check, Swans did the Doomgaze at the exact same time. However, they did it with only two characters. Were able to get through it because they broke a Pearl Rod in order to get through that fight and moved on ahead of you. But then you two went to Magimaster. You elected to back out and reset your party to get a four-man party in there so you wouldn't have, and I'm being serious, a slap off with both of your Stragos against Magimaster because that's what it was for both of you.
Yeah, I mean, I had nothing. The only possible thing, and I mean, I was looking at all my options, other than like going to buy. No, I couldn't even think of anything to buy. I was thinking about buying snipers, but that
No.
wouldn't help me. No, the only thing I could do was Luridan Rage. Yeah, Luridan Rage, Pummel, and Prayer, as far as I can think of.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Gar did with his group. He had Mog there, tried to solo Mog, couldn't do it. Everybody else had to reset and come back in. Nobody were just doing Guardian now had to reset out because they couldn't get past Doomgaze, had to do a couple of dragons and get Bum Rush online for Strago there. Schwanz is now fighting Kefka 4 here, blitzing him down with the Mertens. Let's see if he has a little bit of a... Now, you had a little bit of a panic moment, only having one character left up after that first goner. What was the recovery there for you?
It was dicey. I mean, having Celeste permanently imped because I didn't have any green cherries made
Yeah,
it kind of scary too. And I
she
had no
never looked
healing other
better.
than, oh gosh, yeah, that was. I mean, it's funny because I remember seeing green cherries earlier and thinking, I won't need those. Well, sure enough, I did. But yeah, it was tough. I mean, I basically just had to hope that he didn't do an untimely Havoc Wing. Luckily, his first action was just, I think, Revenger and no Havoc Wing, so that was okay. And then by the time he was going to do his second turn, I was able to Life 2 and Life 3 my way back into some semblance of safety. I knew if I got to a second Goner, I had all the shields in the world. I'd be able to damage him through, but yeah, it's very scary.
Now I'm going to walk all the way back to the beginning of the race because you guys, it looks like the only pathway through was to get through the Tentacles boss at Kefkat Narsh in order to get Celeste, and you also had to get Strago in the Yeti check, and all of you had to like circle back around in Narsh for a good about 30 minutes to get through that.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, I was feeling like
It
awful
was
at that point.
awful. Just
Well,
straight up,
yeah,
it's just
because
awful.
I mean, I'd started the seed with probably like a 5 minute fight against Lobos on the Veld, so already I was kind of a little irked, and I think I bailed out of another check, and then yeah, you go up there, you do the Mog check, you find a gem box, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, and then it's a Tentacles fight, which you can't beat Tentacles with two level 9 characters. I mean, it's just not going to happen.
No.
I picked the wrong rage too, which didn't help. So yeah, I mean, I figured I'd see what Strago could do, and by the time I came back, I at least had levels and I could burn them down. And the revenge on those Tentacles was very sweet. It felt good.
It was sweet for all four of you there. Trying to think what else crazy things that happened. I believe you had. I'm trying to remember what happened. Something happened in the dream, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I bounced off Inferno the first
Oh,
time. I
that's
went
right.
in there and wiped to him, which, yeah. Ooh, GG Schwantz. Um, yeah, I wiped to Inferno. It was awful. I had to circle back in. I debated doing different checks. I think I was at 6-6 or 6-7 at that point, or yeah, something 6-5 even. I thought I could piece together the Espers elsewhere, but I thought, no, it's only Inferno. I'll go back and do it again. And I'm really, really glad I did because there's 3 Espers in there.
So I'm doing my restream duties because I'm flying solo tonight. And the Swans is now going to join us in the Discord channel. GG Swans. That was back and forth for both you and Double Down through this entire run for really the last 45 minutes throughout the series.
Wow, awesome. Well, I can't wait to race that or watch that disaster back. Yeah,
Chat was
I
rooting against you on the bosses, by the way, in Tower. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, I've commentated Curse so many of them that I can't blame them.
No, can't blame
Yeah.
me. You can only blame chat, and nobody works. Nobody was the one that rolled the seed. I didn't even roll the seed either. So
Yeah, so the thing that happened in Kefka's Tower with Magimaster was the thing I was worried about when I didn't find any physical offense or any non-elemental offense for my party. So I split up Team 1 with Mog and Team 2 with the Old Man just to, have some semblance of a chance against a Magimaster in one of the spots, right? And of course, Mog probably would have been better with all of the different rages that he had, and I probably should have cracked my shield like I did when I went with my full party. That would have I would have pushed over the damage threshold in the first fight where I evaded the first doom. The problem is fighting Magimaster with just one character. He could just say, "Nope, this fight's done."
yeah,
And there's nothing you can do about it.
real slight update here. Nobody more is saying FF. He's saying, nope, I will pass on the rest of this seed now. But it was interesting watching both of you having basically, that on the internet where you have a slapping competition? It was like a slapping competition between both your Stragos to pummel Magimasters. That was hilarious to watch there for a bit, though.
Well, clearly, Double Down slap is a little bit harder than mine, so I have to work on making my my hand a little stronger. Got to put a little more baby powder in that next time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is an interesting start with Umaro, and then one of our characters had Rage, which means you can't control them, and the other character had Dance, which means you can't control them. So the Serpent Trench sort of played itself this seed, right? Like, really, it was really cool though to get to dig into the rage menu a little bit. I used like 4 or 5 different rages this seed, between the Lightning Bolt 3 one, between the Landslide one, between the Fire 3 one. It's always fun to use the Senor Behemoth rage against Senor Behemoth, isn't it? And then the Tyrannosaur Medio one, right? I used all of them in different parts of the run, and I got to show off Dance because somehow we ran into like a lot of mechanical bosses early. So the Dance had El Nino on it, right, which is like a water spell. So Bismarck got some use this seed. This is an interesting one. Digging out the bag of tricks for this one for sure.
Exactly. I pulled out a lot of Espers in this one too. I'm glad. I also summoned Bismarck as well. I think in whoever the fight was in Narsh, like the Tritalk boss, I remember Bismarck in there and being like, yeah, Bismarck value. But El Nino is smart. Schwanz, you're a smart guy. I didn't even think about El Nino. You're very smart.
Well, sometimes
we are in an El Nino. We'll blame you, Double Down, up in Canada.
Oh boy. Well, sometimes all you have to do is dance. So that was the theme of this run. But yeah, like I was talking to Double Down before he jumped in there, tentacles at Kefka at Norse, kind of blocking your path, having to triple back for you into Kefka to World of Ruin Narsh to go get Strago there. It took you a little bit to go around that to try to get your pathing on board there.
Yeah, so when you start with Gao and then Mog and Umaro, you know that you're going to have to end up in Narsh at some point. So I was hoping to find dried meat relatively early, and I did. So I just did Gao's 2 checks, and I said, well, if it's not a character, we're going to World of Balance Narsh, because then I could peek Yeti on the way up Lone Wolf. And if there's a character there, I'm just going to do, like that little girl turning around. No, we're going to turn around and go back into World of Ruin there to go get Strago. And then we had like 7 elemental shields this seed. I know I stole a few off of Inferno, but yeah, Merton was just online. Unfortunately, it was 101 MP to cost, so that's why you saw me in the final battle trying to steal so many elixirs. Maybe if I had Celeste do something other than trying to pickpocket the boss, then maybe I might have beat double down. Who knows? What
Well-
was the difference in time?
Well, your
Oh
Celeste
no,
did
it was
a
like
lot.
6 minutes. Never mind. That wasn't the problem.
Well, your Celeste did a heck of a lot more double down. W. You want to tell what your Celeste was doing?
Well, my Celeste got turned into an imp on tier 2, and she never looked back. I didn't have any way of fixing it, so
Oh,
Celeste, she used a couple items, and she sort of was just there for morale. She was sort of like the mascot, and I think her presence was really inspiring, and that's what she did. And then eventually she died, and it was better for everybody at that point.
Yeah. Better get Cyan or Umaro off the bench there. Yeah, I was feeling really good about going into KT at like 55 minutes, and then, maybe I should have stopped after the second Magimaster fight, but I felt like I was so close to killing him that I had to give it one more go. But, at that point, I should have just reset the tower, because it's a 4-minute time loss, yeah, but those 2 fights against Magimaster were way longer than 4 minutes that I did after I should have been like, nope, let's reset the tower. So sometimes you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, folks.
It's funny you say, because like when I went into the tower too, and I went in the tower, although I had to do like a full dive because I was super under level, but I went in around 57, I think. And at that time, I was feeling like I was actually way behind. I felt really bad about it because I felt like this had been a jet seed that I was sort of stumbling and stuttering and misplaying my way through. Did you feel it was a jet seed early on until we got to KT?
Well, I was hoping that we'd find something along the way, and I didn't want to have it just be a, hey, everybody's casting magic this seed sort of, race, but that's kind of how it happened. I didn't get a weapon until I stole a Ragnarok off a girl, right? So
Same here. And I put it on Strago, and he was terrible with it, and I never did it again. But I thought early on, because I think I found a full set of elemental shields super early, and Merton super early, so I felt like, wow, this is a big Merton seed. The earrings were quick to find. I thought it was just going to be a complete walkthrough, but then half the bosses were awkward Merton bosses too. Like you're fighting stuff like Inferno and things like that. And it's just, what a vexing seed that was. Damn it.
And you know what's even worse is I did a Coliseum play early on in the seed after Serpent Trench with Umaro, because I figured Yeti gonna smash, at least let's get some value out of him, right?
Yeah.
And I found an Aura Lance in the Coliseum, and I was like, all right, I have Mog in my party, and there's Dragoon Boots in at least 3 different relic shops in this seed. I hope I run into, or there's a Dragon Horn rather in 3 different relic shops in this seed. Let's go find ourselves a Dragon Horn. And of course, I stopped at like random shops along the way and couldn't find myself any boots.
No.
So I was hoping, and then I saw a sniper in Ikea, and I'm like, all right, well, let's fish for an offering, and never found an offering either. So there was a glimmer of some offensive build potential, but it just never manifested into anything, So sometimes you just got to do what the seed gives you, that's the way it is, unfortunately. But
it seemed to mostly give heartache, is what I found.
Honestly,
By the way,
the seed was pretty easy until Magimaster.
I completely agree. I mean, like I stumbled a bunch early, but like it was almost entirely of my own doing, and just like sort of bad little fluky kind of incidents and things like that. But then that tower was just that tower was something else.
Yeah, and you know what the icing on the cake was? On when I finally got with my whole party to refight Magimaster, Strago died as soon as Magimaster, Strago died, and I couldn't pick him back up before I killed Magimaster, so he didn't even get the experience in that fight.
It's funny too, because like it wasn't even, I wouldn't even say it was inherently an awful tower. It was really an awful tower for the party we had. Like even Narapa was a problem for me, whereas like I had no clean way of Narapa. I was like just swinging away with Magus rods and whittling him down and barely making it in out of the condemned timer. And like that's obviously not a difficult boss, but man, with this the limited offense we had, even bosses like Narapa or there's something else I thought that was absorbing all my elements, like just awkward fights this time.
Yeah. For Narapa, I had both Mog using Rage and Yeti, so I was just like, let's put the controller down and let's hope for the best. Get it done in 20 seconds, team. The other thing was, I too felt sort of under-leveled, you had mentioned going into KT. So what I did was, it was around the time I had maybe 6 characters and 7 Espers, I think, and I'm like, oh god, I'm level like 26. So I went to Fnatic's tower and I peeked it and I said, if this is an Esper, then I'm just going to do it. because I'm going to get the boss and I'm going to get the dragon on the way down. So that's sort of what leveled my party up a lot, because I have every magic known to, Final Fantasy VI in my disposal. It was Ultros 2 at the top, so that was one Merton and that was done. And it was pretty easy,
I want to jump in here really, really quick and let everybody know that Keith Rocks did forfeit out. He was our 5th runner off stream, so sorry for them. But Gar does get through 152.59. He joins us now in the booth with, I guess, our survivors of the seed. I guess you could say, GG Gar for surviving.
So this was maybe the worst seed. Like, the seed itself was, I guess it was fine. The Magimaster was really rude, but anything possible that you could do wrong, I did. Having to redo Serpent Trench, getting bopped by the Dirt Dragon, it was.
That's about the size of it right there. That you just summed up the last 2 hours right there.
Is that your Macho Man Randy Savage impression?
I don't even know. That was my.
Gar's cream rises to the top.
God.
Although I'm right there with you, man. Dirt Dragon got me too. I mean, I took one to Inferno. I was wiping all kinds of dumb stuff. I think Schwant's like one-shot all bosses and then just waiting for us.
You guys should have used Bismarck and El Nino against Dirt Dragon. Come on, man. Weak to water. Just throw some water on that dirt.
Yeah. It'd be real cool if I could actually do that and not just get magnitude aided and then surged over and over and over again.
Yeah, and you were even floating, and he was dragging him back down to the ground and then doing that stuff afterwards.
God, yeah, he 50 G'd me. I was so irate about that. Like, that's a low blow, I have to say. Like, that's really uncouth, Dirt Dragon. 50 G's, come on now.
Yeah.
He's just throwing his money around with the 50 G's,
One interesting stat note, which I just learned today, thanks to, I believe it was Overswarm. The birds that you found in Serpent's Trench, you could have gone back to Serpent's Trench with the Ragnarok Esper and turned them into experience eggs.
Yeah, all the birds. You can usually morph most of the birds or steal from most of the birds for good stuff. But yeah, you morph half the birds into like eggs or all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know what it is, but if it's got wings, steal its things.
So that means the bird did come before the egg, I guess. The chicken did come from the egg, so yeah.
There it is. Final Fantasy VI solved that riddle.
Yeah.
I did try to capture from the birds, and I got nothing. I didn't get anything, so there was an attempt.
I think somebody in the community actually made a really good guide on stealing rare things. Does that sound familiar to you, Schwantz?
No, not at all.
I've never heard of this.
I've blacked out after the seed, so.
Well, with Franklin in the community, I'm sure the document exists somewhere.
Call me Terra. I just have amnesia. I have no idea what just happened.
Well, I'm going to wrap up the thing here. We've been going for about 2 hours now. Double Down, I want to throw it over to you real quick, being the commissioner of our community, if you want to tease about the Ultros League, that we just graciously demonstrated to its utmost perfection here on the seed set. So you want to talk about that real quick with everybody?
There's nothing I'd like to talk about more than Ultros League. So, folks, you might be thinking, this game's cool and all, but what if it could be cooler? Bear with me for a moment. What if, dare I say, it could be the coolest possible? What if we had a league that was themed around Ultros, who is, some might say, Octopus royalty? What if we could have an 8-week-long league of async races? Now, you're thinking, oh my god, I'll get wrecked. I'll be in a giant async race with 80 people. I mean, the good racers will beat me every time. That Gar, I can't keep up with Gar. Schwantz, he's unbeatable. Well, I've got great news for you. In Ultros League, you're set up in different divisions. So there's different divisions at different tier levels. If you're just starting in Ultros League, you're going to be in the lowest tier, Tonic, with other people who might be new, might be developing their skills, might be learning, might have had several seasons of very bad luck. You never know, but they're down there with you. So you're having a fair fight every single week. You're going to have some great races. You're going to meet some good people. You're going to have some great conversations in the race room. You're going to become a better racer. You're going to become the very best one day by joining Ultros League. Sign up. The first week starts tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. Races run every week from Saturday to Saturday for 8 weeks. You only have to run 6 of the 8. So if you've got summer vacation plans, don't worry about it. You can still join the Ultros League. It's a lot of fun. www.ultrosleague.com. It's free, it's fun, it's hip, it's fresh. Go join. The races will open up probably tomorrow around 1-ish, 2-ish. So get in there, get jamming. You won't regret it. Go tell your friends. That's ultrosleague.com forever and ever.
Awesome there. And Schwans, I believe you're still in the chat too. You want to talk about your event that's actually coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, so this Wednesday on one of the speed gaming channels, I don't know which one it is yet, we are doing a crowd control race to raise some cash money, some dollar bills, y'all, for an upcoming prize pool for a tournament during Summer SG Live. So the tournament is going to be sometime in July or August, details TBD, but we already have $120 in the prize pool. I donated some money. Elastio had already donated some money, but you too can also donate some money towards the prize pool. And for your donation, you get to tell the runners what checks we must do during the middle of the race. So, you know, I might have a nice party going. You know, I got Tara and I got Celeste and, you know, Umaro and Cyan. And you might say, hey, Schwantz, I know that you just did Sealed Gate Cave with Tara. So how about Phoenix Cave? Go do that with Locke. So that means I have to, 1, find Locke, and then 2, do the Phoenix Cave in order to finish the seed. So it's going to be a little insane. It's a crowd control race. It'll be a lot of fun. Myself, Jexrock, and Javinator are racing. Elastio and Edgeworth are the ones that are hosting. So that'll be this upcoming Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern on one of the speed gaming channels. So stay tuned and check out the Discord for updates on exactly where it will be. It's going to be better than this seed, I hope. I swear to God. But yeah, it should be a heck of a lot of fun. And we also have another event coming up on the following Sunday. So it is Sunday, June 18th. One Free Fits is doing a Final Fantasy Rando Summer Marathon. Gar, are you doing commentary on that?
I am, in fact, doing commentary.
Oh, well,
for that.
jump in and talk about that one.
Why don't you talk about that one?
Everybody's doing something here.
So I'm gonna be honest. For that one, I have no idea what's going on. But One Free Fits,
10 p.m. Sunday.
What a plug! I love it.
One Free Fits, a very esteemed member of our community, is going to be showcasing Worlds Collide for the FFR, FF1R, that whole event. So that ought to be very fun as well. His run starts, I believe that's Saturday.
Nope.
Sunday.
Sunday,
it is a
10
Sunday,
p.m.
pardon. 10 p.m. Eastern. And I believe it's next Sunday, not this coming Sunday.
Correct.
So be sure to watch that. You're going to hear me commentate, which is always a great time.
Yeah.
Please believe me. And you get to donate some money to a good cause. And what could be better than that?
Yeah, so the cause is going to so all proceeds are going to go to the Liam Foundation, which is an organization dedicated to encouraging, assisting, healing, and empowering the LGBTQIA+ community. Some of the incentives we do have is if you go $80, that'll force One Free Fits to do the opera, which we usually start all our marathon events with the opera if that is successfully incentivized. Then there'll be a bidding war for either save or kill Sid. Whoever wins that war, all the money still goes in, but whoever wins that war, One Free Fits will have to save or kill Sid there on Solitary Island. And there's also one other bidding war of what characters that One Free Fits has to start with. There's 2 characters possible for them to start, so you put your bid in on which character you want them to start with.
Yeah,
So question to the group, are we killing Sid or are we saving Sid? What are you putting your dollars towards, Gar?
Oh, death to the war criminal. That's easy.
Sid is a misunderstood hero, and I don't like this slander against him. Sid did nothing wrong. Fight me.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I could always use a good banana, so let's kill the banana, and so I can eat it.
The banana's too ripe, is what you're saying.
Yeah, there
The
you
best
go.
way to figure out if said should live is to vote with your dollars, in my
That's
humble
right.
opinion.
Yep.
But
Very true.
as you can hear, tons and tons of cool things that Worlds Collide is getting up to. And if you want to be a part of the action, ff6worldscollide.com. Be there or be square. Soft.
Oh gosh, you don't want to be square soft. I mean, join that website. If you put that same URL into your browser of choice, whether you're using Opera, Safari, or Netscape Navigator, if you throw a /Discord after that as well, you're in for an incredible new world of excitement as well. Not just rolling seeds, but rolling deep with your good pals, folks like the Schwantz and Gar and Saberwolf.
Double down.
And double down if you're really unlucky. But otherwise, Gar, which is great. So go join the Discord. It's a good community. We love new people. We always talk to them and say things to them and stuff. So come on and join. We are great. And yeah, Netscape Navigator. Keep using it.
Yeah, I hear Double Down still has his homepage set to Alta Vista. Anyway, thank you, Saberwolf, for doing the broadcast tonight. Really appreciate you doing comms and tracking and all that stuff. It was fun racing against the two of you, and hopefully I don't see either one of you in my Ultros League division.
Gar, last word to you.
Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks to Double Down and the Schwans27 for being awesome runners. Thanks very much to Saberwolf, who is much like Fitz, very, very esteemed member of our community, does a lot of the content publication here, along with the Schwans. So shout outs to the both of you. Really appreciate all your hard work. And if you want to get into the action, we can always use restreamers and trackers and commentators. We would love to have you, and we have all kinds of helpful guides to help you learn. So come on in, don't be afraid, and until next time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't mind being the lone wolf here, doing the restreams and like that, especially these easier ones like Ultros League like that. But some of these more difficult ones with the whole big old tournaments like that, it would be definitely helpful to have other trackers and commentators helping out. And so we're just going to turn it over right now. We're going to do a little bit of a slash raid. We're going to do Moogleplex here. I lost the copy there, but we're going to go over to Moogleplex here in just a little bit, give them a little love. They're doing some Ultros League prep work as well. Once again, I am Saberwolf. Thank you, Double Down, Gar, the Schwans, Nobody War, and also running also in the background was Keith McRocks was running in the background. We didn't see them on stream, but they were also running their hearts out here. Again, thank you for joining us. I hope you have a very, very good night. Goodbye, all.